What kind of nation is this? With this kind of example they have shown in Sowore, in Stephen Keshi, blessed memory, Thompson Oliha, blessed memory, Rashidi Yekini. I will never advise even my son to put his feet for this country. Send me out!
Well, majority of the killings were carried out by the non-state actors, and we also have recorded many cases of extrajudicial execution and other serious human rights violations by the state actors.
People have here that Minister of Works, Uncle Dave Umahi, he said he want to rehabilitate Third Mainland Bridge, yes, for only 3.8 trillion naira. Just 3.8 trillion naira for rehabilitation of Third Mainland Bridge. Excuse me, Uncle Dave. Is it not last year, January, that we rehabilitate Third Mainland for 6 months for 42 billion naira?
Yes, see, I want to talk about an Islamic cleric who is threatening everybody with gangsterism.
Like when we did our investigation, we realized that there are at least 17 forests in Anambra State where gunmen operate from. And in Imo State, there are at least 15 of those kind of forests from which gunmen operate. And this government have made life very, very difficult and horrible for the people of this region. There is a popular, very wrong narrative around that whenever you heard about attacks or killings or arson in Southeast, it has been completely reduced and narrowed to a very wrong, not entirely, but very, very, very narrow narrative of saying that IPOB ESL. But the issue is beyond that.
Now we be the voice that got talk true. For the language on they so for silence too.
Hello my people, and welcome once again for Voices of Vigilance with strong and bold voices. They talk about things that concern us for Nigeria. As we don't give una highlight of our main story for this episode, make we enter them proper. For last week, Amnesty International don't release report. Talk am who has say most of the allegation of insecurity for Southeast Nigeria, say na politician hand they inside. Them say person where they talk say na only hip-hop hand they inside. Say that person take narrow lens, they look the matter. Make we listen small to Isa Sanusi, the country director of Amnesty International, as in take talker.
Well, majority of the killings were carried out by the non-state actors, and we also have recorded many cases of extrajudicial execution and other serious human rights violations by the state actors. So what we have, as you mentioned, is a hybrid of political violence, criminality, and all sorts of things. Like when we did our investigation, we realized that there are at least 17 forests in Anambra State where gunmen operate from. And in Imo State, there are at least 15 of those kind of forests from which gunmen operate. And this government have made life very, very difficult and horrible for the people of this region. In some places, we found out that even families, when you want to have burials, you have to pay them between 500,000 to 300,000. And many people who could not dare do that have to bury their dear ones somewhere else. So life has become very horrible, and this crisis has been going on since at least 2016. And the reason why we did this research is to bring attention to these horrific human rights violations and the need for all those involved, both state and non-state actors. We are telling them to stop, and they have to cease these violations, and peace has to be restored. And all those who have been found to have violated human rights, they must be brought to justice. And families of those who are affected deserve reparation, adequate compensation, and all kind of support for them to recover their lives.
So I'm looking at part of the reports of Amnesty International, one of the summaries, which I would like you to provide insight. So it said, the multifaceted nature of the actors in the Southeast violence makes it easy for states and non-state actors to reduce the actors to a singular narrative, an IPOB ESN secessionist group. What do you make of that?
Well, what we are saying is that there is a popular, very wrong narrative around that whenever you heard about attacks or killings or arson in Southeast, it has been completely reduced and narrowed to a very wrong, not entirely, but very narrow narrative of saying that IPOB ESN. But the issue is beyond that. We believe that focus, or that wrong focus, and narrowing down everything to ESN and IPOB has completely deprived the authorities of the opportunity to holistically look at the problem and solve it. Beyond the issue of IPOB and ESN, there are so many other issues. Drugs, there are issues of cult groups, there are issues of political violence, all this, and criminality, whereby because gunmen believe that whenever they strike, the blame is shifted to IPOB, therefore they continue to do their activities. And we believe that has made it very difficult for the government to address the problem, and it has narrowed down the problem to the wrong focus. That is why we say this crisis is hybrid. It has so many faces, it has so many dimensions, and all dimensions have to be looked at and thoroughly examined so that people will live in peace. Many people don't go to the Southeast anymore to bury their dear ones. Many people don't go at Christmas. Many people don't go on holidays to visit their families. They have to move their families somewhere safer, either Lagos or Abuja, and then they visit their families. And this is unfortunate, and it is affecting people's right and dignity of life itself. And that is why we said that the problem has to be examined. The narrative has to move realistically beyond narrowing it down to IPOB and ESN.
And your report indicts the police, the military, and Igboeagu in the southeast of much of these killings, to which the Defense Headquarters has been responding. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Kangi, particularly responded. We would like you to listen to the soundbite, and we'll come back for your reaction.
Like I always tell you, everybody would phone in his hand, mobile phone, Android phone, is a potential source of information to the whole world, not even to us here. As you are sitting down now, you can say information to any part of the world that you want, and you say what you want. Nobody will tell you for that. You have, because there is freedom of whatever you want to do. But we can tell you that the military is not engaged in any extrajudicial killing in the southeast. You all agree with me that the effort of our troops in the recent 2 months have significantly improved the security situation in our country, as most of the reports we have been hearing and operation being conducted has reduced because the effort of those criminals have seriously been degraded.
There you have it, the response from the Defense Headquarters. And in fact, if you listened, if we were able to take it further, you'd have heard him say that Amnesty International position is consistent with your long-standing posture towards the Nigerian military. How do you respond?
Well, I think what the defense spokesperson said is completely wrong, and I believe he hasn't, or they haven't read our report. In the report, we also mentioned cases where military men were executed, their bases attacked or their barracks attacked. We also mentioned the fact that because of consistent attack on security agencies, which are unlawful as well, they could not be able to do their duties effectively. And we also mentioned cases where soldiers were executed by gunmen. And therefore, it is not about consistency, about condemning the military. What we are doing is doing the honest thing and saying that we have cases. While doing this investigation, we interviewed 100 people. And out of that 100, 95 of them, we interviewed them face-to-face in the southeast region. So we have our evidence, and we believe that the military should take time to read this report and look at cases. In fact, before we even release the report, we also send them letters telling them that we have these allegations. If you have any detail that can help us to understand what is going on or how your operations affect human rights, we will be glad to have them. And we didn't hear from them. Therefore, I don't think that there is any weight or any credibility to the claim that we are consistently against the military.
For another story, the comedian Westy Baba don't talking on concerning the allegation of corruption wey dey for inside Oga Tinubu government. In talk say this government they very good to spend plenty money for things wey no matter. Make we listen as he take talk.
Swallow all day. Say people have here that Minister of Works, Uncle Dave Umahi, he said he want to rehabilitate third mainland bridge, yes, for only 3.8 trillion naira. Just 3.8 trillion naira for rehabilitation of third mainland bridge. Excuse me, Uncle Dave. Is it not last year, January, that we rehabilitate third mainland for 6 months for 42 billion naira? Now this year again, you want to spend 3.8 trillion naira for rehabilitation. That's how Uncle Festus, to aviation minister, say you want to spend 700 billion plus to rehabilitate terminal. This billion trillion, excuse me, when are we going to spend billion and trillion to rehabilitate Nigeria health sector, to build world-class hospitals so that you people, you don't have to be flying abroad every time you have headache. So we citizens too can enjoy good health care. 3.8 trillion to rehabilitate third mainland bridge. What happened now? Uncle J, 3.8 trillion naira rehabilitation bridge. Kuku power. It's okay. You know it's okay. Please carry the trillion. Build good hospital. Keep the doctors in Nigeria. Don't let them jackpot. Pay them well. You have the money. 42 billion naira last year. 3.8 trillion naira this year. Next year, they are going to use quadrillion. This year, the power.
Oh yes, my people. You don't hear them as Westy Baba talk am. This government sabi wetin they do. All this trillion naira wey dey the budget na money for election and to buy vote for 2027. If no be so, tell me why they go budget another trillion naira for the third mainland bridge wey they just rehabilitate a year ago. Talking about corruption for Bodo Naija, some people don't they talk allegedly say the home of corruption for Naija na civil service. Now so one man cry out about waiting in the sea for Corporate Affairs Commission as he won't renew in company license and to file in annual returns. This man talk say the insider where they work for that place send a message say their network don't become juju where they demand for 5,000 naira from everybody before their application go through. Mind you say na online process be that make I read the message as in take send them to in clients. I got your message. The portal is having serious issues. It's compelling people to make payments that they have either already made or don't even need to be paid. In your case, the payments being requested ought not to be paid. The IT team is working on it. Please have some patience, but if you are in a hurry and your client needs the job urgently, then you can go ahead and make the payment so that the application can be approved. If it's not urgent you can explain to your clients that the issue will be sorted. I may not be able to say when it will be sorted, but it will certainly be sorted. Thank you. This one are the message where the insider send giving clients. How you see my people? I beg, drop your opinion for inside this comment section. For my side day, my people, now only plenty question now him just they enter my head. Now, tell me how network go request for 5,000 naira if somebody no programmer for inside there. Which kind of mistake be that? The man accepts say for these clients, say the thing no supposed be, but if he no mind, make him pay the 5,000 naira per filing so that his job go on. Now, so my people with the beg Oga Tinubu and him team, make they took eye for inside Corporate Affairs Commission and other government offices. Make they sabi waiting the shell inside. After all, them talk say they want improve the ease of doing business for Nigeria. Another active voice will be popular footballer for Super Eagles time, will be Taribo West. Don't lament as Nigerian government they take treat ex-players. We don't make this country proud. Taribo talk this one as in they talk about how government of Nigeria treat one of their colleagues. We don't die, will be Peter Rufai. Vex, they invoice plenty. Make we listen.
I'm just happy to be here. I can see some of my old contemporaries to be here in this incredible day and just share the burden and the pains with the family that has rest upon their shoulders. For me, it's disheartening that you have Lagos State, you have Nigerian Football Association, they dropped the buck on the family. I felt in my spirit there is nothing to put your life for. That's why I say I have to shift back so that I will not implode. It's grieving. My mother passed on. I never shed tears. My father passed on in my hands. I never shed tears. Then when Rufai passed on, I had ghost pimple on my body. And every individual I'm speaking to, there was, tears of lamb rolling through my cheeks. What kind of nation is this? With this kind of example they have shown in Sowore, in Stephen Keshi, blessed memory, Thompson Oliha, blessed memory, Rashidi Yekini. I will never advise even my son to put his feet for this country. Send me out. Do we have a football federation? Or do we have a football association in this Lagos State? That this hero, this soldier, this football evangelist has to be treated this way and his family. Could you imagine that the family will be crying just to solicit in within our groups to ask for money? That is madness from, look, please let me go. I don't want to pour my heart.
Oh yes, my people. Plenty things they happen for northern Nigeria where many people know sabi. The active voice will be Johnson Yakubu Sani, where the report matter for North. Don't talk about how northern Muslims take lambast one Fulani sheikh, where they plead for pardon for one Fulani bandit, where be Bello Tuji. The controversial sheikh, where be Asadu Suna, say he no understand why he be saying only Fulani people then they blame for banditry where they for the country. In start by saying that Hausa people should be very grateful. Say now only Hausa language everybody for North they speak. Say no be Fulani. Make you hear as Yakubu take reporter.
Maganar 'yan sa kai a Najeriya ba mu yadda da ita kuma za mu yadda da ita ba. To da ban ga yadda za a yi ba. Matsalar da take da alaƙa da mutane a ta shafi kowa da kowa. Ka zo yanzu dala nan ba taron Fulani ake yi ba. Ni aka gayyato ne. Dan Allah idan aka zo gurin nan yanzu da me ake magana da Fulatanci ake ko da Hausa. Inda kabilanci ake yi da sai a ce to duk wanda ya zo gurin nan in bai jin Fulatanci ko maganan ma ba za a yi. Tarurrukan da muke zuwa dan Allah idan an zo da wani yare ake yin magana. Da Hausa ake yi. Sannan ba wani bafulatani da ke halartar taron jin cewa an zo taro ana magana da Hausa yana jin cewa dan me yana bafulatani za a zo ana magana da Hausa to dan me za a zo ɗaukar harkar tsaro a jiha wanda kowa yana da haƙƙi sai a keɓance wata ƙabila ƙwaya ɗaya a ce ita kaɗai take da haƙƙi sai ƙabilar ba ta da haƙƙi. Wannan dalilin ya sa tun muna magana ana ganin wasa ne muka dinga nemo dalilin da baka isa ka ce ƙarya ba ne sai ka yarda cewa ana ɓannan nan. Yanzu kwanan nan ai na ga kun ga abin da ya faru a jihar Zamfara. Wa'annan da ake ganin su sun saki layi tare da matsalar da suka samu, amma matsalar su yanzu ba ta kai matsalar 'yan sa kai ba. Billahi allazi la ilaha illa in bindigan nan da kuke ganin su duk lalacewar su na rantsi da Allah suna girmama malamai. Wallahi suna kiyaye alfarman malamai da mutuncin su.
Now my people, you are welcome back. Now you heard what he said. He said that the vigilante of the Fulani, of the Hausa people, they are the reason why we have Fulani bandits in the forest. Now, these vigilantes were formed by governors. After many years, the Fulani were doing their atrocities in the cities against the Hausa people. Before each governor began to form vigilante so that each of the villages can be protected. And then this sheikh came and said, the vigilante are the ones at fault. And so when he said this, a lot of Hausa people came against him and everything, and they were so, a lot of other Islamic clerics, they were so angry at what he said. The next thing now, we now heard this man, that he went to the kingpin of all Fulani bandits. He went and sat with him, and he was giving audios and he was giving videos, and he was clearly saying he went and sat him and he was seeking reconciliation with the kingpin of all Fulani bandits. And that kingpin is called Bello Turji. Now, listen to what he said after he declared that he had gone, or when he declared that he had gone to sit with Bello Turji.
Maganin cewa mun je mun zanna da Bello Turji gaskiya ne, kuma kusan a wata ɗaya so uku muka je. A wannan gabar ba za mu taɓa manta da Dr. Hamad Gumi ba, Allah ya saka masa da alkhairi, kusan shine wanda ya buɗe ƙofar hakan cewa yana yiwa. Dalili na biyu, wato mu a musulunci idan mace da namiji suna rigima za a zo a iya tattaunawa akan haƙƙinsu. Allah ya ce yin sulhu ya fi zama alkhairi. To ban san wani mataki ne sulhu ya zama shari ba. Abu na uku, da masu cewa a yaƙi da masu mu da muke ganin a yi sulhu, duk ba ya kamata a fahimci asalin manufa guda ɗaya ce, yaya za a yi a zauna lafiya, shine abin da muke nema. Yasa odiyon da muka tattauna da shi zan tura muku odiyon duka dan a fahimci ba wani abu bane wanda yake boye.
Now my people, you are welcome back. So this man clearly said was all out for reconciliation, but a lot of people didn't buy it because this Fulani bandit kingpin called Bello Turji has done a lot of atrocities against Nigeria, against Nigerians, against Hausa. He has been accused of raping women inside mosques. He has been accused of killing people. He has been accused of many things. This man has been accused, and he's a wanted person. And the Nigerian government and the Nigerian military, the Nigerian police, the Nigerian military, and the entire security apparatus of Nigeria have been looking for how to nab this Fulani kingpin called Bello Turji. But they are telling us that they don't know where he is, they can't get access to him. But an Islamic cleric is easily gaining access to this man. So when this man came with, he has met with Bello Turji, that is when a lot of people, especially the Hausa Fulanis and all the people who have suffered all the atrocities of Bello Turji, they came so vehemently against this sheikh. And they said they will never seek reconciliation, all they seek is judgment. for all his atrocities, and they came out and they criticized this sheikh, and they are all out damning him. Now look at one or two out of the numerous people that came out to say, we don't agree with what you are doing, seeking reconciliation with a terrorist. Now let's look at these videos before I'll now give you what the feedback of this sheikh is against the people who came against him.
Abin takaici wai sai malamin yana cewa wai yayi gaba da turji, wai har ya faɗa mai cikin ayyukan da suka yi akwai abin da ba daidai ba. To zo ka faɗa mana wani addinai kenan. Wai akwai abin da ba daidai ba. Shi yasa kun haga an zo wani taro su ba su yarda da sa kai ba Najeriya ko ba za su, amma ku yarda ta'addanci Najeriya. Ba ku yarda da sa don Allah mun sababar da sa kai. Abin da ya sababar da sa kai ta'addanci, in babu ta'addanci akwai maganar sa kai, don haka kowa ya zama dan sa kai. Kira na ga mutanen Zamfara da mutanen Katsina da mutanen Sokoto, duk wanda ya ga Bello Turji wallahi shi halbe shi. Duk wanda ya ce a bar Bello Turji ya taho shi yawo ya koma, ku ce shi kawo uwa ta ai ma abin da Bello Turji ya wa uwayen mutane. Munan cikin masallaci yayi rafin din mata. Kowa ya san mota su kutum da yara kanana da mata da maza ya kunna mata wuta, kuma Turji ba tuba ya ce zai yi ba. Miya illa inda tuba zai yi ya mika wuya ya dawo karkashin gwamnati. Sai a ce ya tuba ya bari, ai Allah yana iya gafartawa. Kun san ko lokacin da kuka ga wannan malamin hudan ƙwairon Kaduna yana magana cewa wai ko baka yahe ba Allah zai yahe, wallahi ba Janar Buhari yaka nuhi ba. Wa yaka nuhi su Bello Turji yaka nuhi shi dai.
In dai su Hasadu Sunna da kwamitin su za su yi su je su ga Bello Turji, sun dan inda yake, su shiga mota, su haye kogi, su hau mashin, su je su samu inda Bello Turji yake, su gana da shi, su sake komawa su gana da shi, su sake komawa su gana da shi. Sojojinmu a irin ci gaba irin na duniya da irin na communication, da irin jiragen sama da abubuwa da aikin irin na security na DSS da SS da korewarsu da binciko duk inda kake a kama ka. Ya Bello Turji ya gagare su, amma wasu da ba kowa ba za su je su gan shi. Kai wannan abun kunya ne ga National Security Advisor, wannan abun kunya ne ga ministan tsaro, wannan abun kunya ne ga ministan tsaro kuma karami, dan ministocin guda biyu ne. Wayannan mutane abun kunya ne a tare da ku. Wannan kalamun da wannan ya fitar da shi, to da sun san abin da ya mayar da su, wallahi tallahi da za kamata su yi resign su bar aikinsu. Ba su cancanci wannan makamin da suke kai ba, ba su cancanta ba. Yanzu ba komai wannan mulkin sabuwa shekarar ta biyu.
Now after all this damning verdict against he that was seeking reconciliation with this man whom everybody have considered as a terrorist, after all, and a lot of content creators came to do content, or a lot of people came to analyze what he did, and a lot of people gave him blame, and a lot of people were making videos and making video content to criticize this sheikh for going, even having access to sit with the terrorists. He didn't let the military or the people know how to get these terrorists, but he was able to get there and sit with the terrorists and did whatever he did, and he's coming out to say those people are innocent, they should forgive them and they should reconcile them to the society. And people came out vehemently and people fought him and people were making videos against him. The next thing we saw, this man came out. This man came out and gave this warning. Now listen to this warning that this man gave. When we come back, we'll conclude this video.
Ina kira zuwa ga yaran da suke rashin mutunci a social media da TikTok, su sani yadda suke jin zafin kai da wauta. Na rantse da Allah muna da yara da suke zafin kai da wauta. Duk wanda muka tura muka ce su bugai, wallahi sai sun bugai. Kai akwai waɗanda na rantse da in ran mutum muka ce su ɗauko sai sun ɗauko. In ya kamata su san wannan. So dukkan wanda zai yi magana akan social media irin wannan to san me yake faɗa. In ba haka ba, in ka zo kai mana wauta, to muna da wawayen da za mu tura maka sama da kai ba maganin aya ko hadisi, mataki za su ɗaukan maka irin matakin da kai na wuta. Wannan rashin tarbiyya ne.
Now this is the warning the man gave. He said he has gangsters, he has thugs, that people that are coming to make videos and make content and criticize him, that he's going to send thugs after them. He's going to send thugs to deal with them. Can you believe, coming from the mouth of a spiritual leader? A spiritual leader says he's going to send thugs after people who criticize him for what he was doing. He has thugs and he has gangsters that he's going to send after people who are criticizing him. Now this is unbecoming of religious leaders in Nigeria. Sometimes when we see all these things, we say, what is happening in Nigeria? How can people be so bold to say things like this? So even me that I'm making this video now, he's thinking he's going to say talks against me, but I'm covered by the blood of Jesus Christ. His talks cannot even near me. By fact, Jesus will have dealt with them. But all I'm saying is that, how is this country becoming? Somebody said, when you criticize him, he has thugs, he has gangsters that he's going to send after you. And the same person will go and sit and preach to people, and people accept. Now, let's say it's a pastor. A pastor comes out to tell us that he has thugs and gangsters that he's going to use and deal with people who criticize him. What do you think the backlash will be? I remember one pastor that said he has police. He's going to use police. He's going to report people to police, and people will go and the police go and lock people who criticize him. The entire Nigeria will be standing on him. We say, you're a pastor. You're a pastor preaching the gospel, and you cannot call Jesus to vindicate you, and you are talking about police. You are going to get police to do what? And this man now, this man is not even talking about getting police. He says he has his own gangsters and his own thugs that he's going to send to anybody who speaks against him. If a pastor says that is the end of his church, because you are preaching for people to have dependence on Jesus, for coverage, for protection, and for their vindication. And you can't be talking of sending thugs to go and deal with people who criticize you.
Finally, my people, active voice where the Haruna Goroh don't release another powerful reggae music where in called Nigerian Democracy is Dead. We will take very small for that music as we end this story for this episode. See you in another episode.
All for crumbs, while politicians dine with billions they stole from you. Democracy is dead, can't you see?